psychic with a T, the psychic with a T, that's me, that's me. The one with the T, the one with the T, that's me, that's me. When the planets align, spirit speaks on time, that's me, that's me. When the planets align, spirit speaks on time, that's me, that's me. When the trolls be gone, candle work be strong, that's me, that's me. When the trolls be gone, candle work be strong, that's me, that's me. I don't care what the others say, let's channel some energy today. I don't care what the others say, let's channel some energy today. Capricorn, Virgo, Libra strong, this tarot card reading about to be long. Capricorn, Virgo, Libra strong, this tarot card reading about to be long. Hi everyone, welcome to my live video where we will be talking about how to use your Pluto/Scorpio energy to get what you want. So, thank you for listening and watching. Before I get into that topic, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're new. And whether you're new or not, make sure you also hit the bell next to the subscribe button, which means you'll get all notifications every time I go live. Make sure you hit all notifications to get a notification every time I go live or upload a brand new video. Check out my second channel on Vimeo, vimeo.com/Lamarr Townsend Tarot. The link will be in the description box below. It will also be in the comment section below, okay? I have my Apple phone, or my Apple EarPods in my ear just in case I get a call. My phone's on silent, so. Also, make sure you check out my website if you would like a personal reading from me, LamarrTownsendTarot.com. I am available for personal readings, and I would love to read for you. Also, lastly, make sure you also check out my Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Lamarr Townsend Tarot are my handles, or is my handle on all those platforms. So with that being said, thank you for listening and watching, and let's get into the topic of the hour, alright? Or, not the hour, maybe like the 10 minutes, alright? Hopefully, this video is not that long. I don't think it will be, but how to use your Pluto/Scorpio energy to get what you want. Well, it's important to note that everyone has Scorpio and Pluto energy in their chart, meaning everyone has a Pluto placement in your chart. If you don't know, Pluto is actually the ruler of the planet Scorpio, alright? Pluto and Scorpio actually also both rule the 8th house. So if you don't know anything about astrology, all the zodiac signs are broken down into 12 different houses. And the 12 different houses each have their own ruling personality trait or their own ruling aspect of life. Also these houses, the zodiac signs, are also ruled by specific planets. Scorpio happens to rule the 8th house, which is ruled by the planet Pluto, alright? So when we talk about astrology and Pluto, we also have to mention that the 8th house and Pluto also rule death, rebirth, regeneration, evolution, change, growth. It rules the occult, it rules spirituality, it rules the ability to overcome obstacles, to overcome adversity, and grow stronger, right? Pluto also rules sexuality and sex, alright? There's a reason why people say sex sells, right? And things of that nature. You know, Pluto is a very mysterious, dark planet. Pluto also rules, like I said, the occult, which under the umbrella of the occult is the ruler of witchcraft and stuff like that. So all of these things, all of these aspects, you can use to get to where you want. It's a matter of figuring out where is your Pluto aspected. For example, not everyone actually has their 8th house or their Pluto in Scorpio. Me, for example, okay, before I get into that, let's break it down even further. For the people out there in the back who don't understand exactly like how this factors into astrology and why it matters and how can I use this energy based on my actual energy in my chart. So, even though Pluto rules the 8th house, everyone in their personal birth chart has a Pluto placement, meaning Pluto was in a specific zodiac sign, in a specific house, at a specific time, day, month, and year that you were born. Also, the place that you were born also plays a part into that as well. So, Just because maybe you have a Pluto in Sagittarius doesn't mean your 8th house is going to be in Sagittarius. You can have an 8th house in Taurus and a Pluto in Scorpio, right? Which would be a bad combination, by the way. So just keep that in mind. And also, your Pluto is not always going to be in your 8th house. It actually is more beneficial to not have it in your 8th house, although it depends on the circumstance. It also depends on the energy. So that's a good point to mention, that just because, you have an 8th house in this sign does not mean your Pluto is going to be in the same house, or the same planet. So with that being said, how can you utilize this energy to get what you want? Well, it really depends on, like I said, your Pluto placement. For me, for example, I have a Pluto in Scorpio and an 8th house in Pisces. So Pisces is the ruler of the Neptune, which is the 12th house. That rules our connection to spirit, spirituality. It also rules our hidden strengths and weaknesses, our private affairs, what we do behind closed doors, our hidden talents, and things like that. So since my Pluto is in Scorpio and my 8th house is in Pisces, for me, getting what I want comes from, let's talk about what Pluto rules. Once again, it rules sexuality, growth, evolution, change. So getting what I want comes from, I can tap into definitely witchcraft and spirituality, which I have, to get what I want. That's my lane, basically. But also I can tap into my sexuality. I can also tap into my inner knowledge that I have, right? That's Pisces energy. So it's different when it comes to where the placements are on your chart. Pluto in an air or an earth sign such as Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, or an 8th house in an earth sign, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, you get what you want from being practical. You get what you want from being dedicated, from being ambitious, from doing the hard work. But also, it's important having a Pluto or an 8th house in Capricorn to also be pliable and to be open to change and to be open to allowing some sort of spiritual aspect to come in as well. So it would be really good maybe if you had like an 8th house in Pluto, or an 8th house in an earth sign, but a Pluto in maybe like a fire sign or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Pluto, speaking of fire sign, Pluto in an 8th house, or Pluto in or an 8th house in fire, would make you someone that's definitely a go-getter, someone that is able to see beyond the initial perception or the initial what is being presented to you. You're able to burn through the veil. That is a Pluto or an 8th house in a fire sign. Pluto in an 8th house in a fire sign is also someone that is all about change and doesn't want to stay the same. So you have that as an advantage, especially against an earth sign, where a Pluto or an 8th house in an earth sign is not so open to change. They kind of, earth signs are more so, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that can be a little bit difficult if you have a Pluto in an 8th house in an earth sign, all right? Fire is more so burning through the bullshit, burning through the veil, all right? Seeing beyond the perception, seeing beyond the surface, and being able to get to that end goal, all right? Because you're able to see beyond the bullshit. Like a Pluto in a fire sign or an 8th house in a fire sign is like easily able to tell when someone is a distraction or when someone is like wasting their time. Like, okay, this is a distraction. I can tell that you are, like, say you have a Pluto or an 8th house in fire, and it's like you are dealing with this a family member, a friend who seems to always like throw a stumbling block in your way or always causes drama in your life. Like, they have the ability to see beyond, like, burn beyond the veil and see, okay, basically you're a distraction and you're like fucking up my life, so I need to mind my curse words. So I need to let you go, move on from you so that I can propel and move myself forward. They take action. Pluto or an 8th house or an 8th house in an air sign are thinkers. They're more so people that feel out the energy, and then based on the energy that they feel, they're able to process the information and move accordingly. 8th house in Pluto in air signs, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, is also tend to have the gift of gab. They also are good at camouflaging themselves. So you have the ability to know what's going on, but air sign, 8th houses, and Plutos also have the ability to play dumb to what's going on. So it's like, I know I'm being bullshitted in this situation, or I know that this person's lying, but for the sake of whatever the context is, or for the sake of waiting for the right timing, or whatever it is with an air sign, I'm going to act like I don't know what's going on, or I'm going to act like I believe their lies until the right time. That's a Pluto in an 8th house, or that's a Pluto or an 8th house in an air sign. Pluto or an 8th house in a water sign, once again, is very, very intuitive. Automatically has an innate connection to spirit. So all a Pluto or an eighth house and water sign has to do is tap within, and they have the answers already. It may take some adjustment and practice when it comes to actually trusting your intuition and trusting your gut as a Pluto or a Pluto or an eighth house in water sign. For me, like I said, I have both my Pluto and eighth house in water, so I've kind of slowly mastered this, especially being a psychic tarot reader. That's probably one of the reasons why I have such strong sense of intuition, and believing in my intuition is from trial and error and practice between trusting my intuition, not trusting it, and ending up in some really crappy situations from not trusting my intuition. That's what that's what I feel. That's what comes from me having both my Pluto and eighth house in a water sign. Now, keep in mind, it really does matter where your Pluto is placed in your chart. For example, your Pluto being in your fifth house is going to have a different effect if your Pluto is in your eighth house or is in your rising sign, for example. It also will matter what planets are in your eighth house, all right? Because that's Pluto, right? So if you have a moon in your eighth house or in a Venus in your eighth house, that's going to affect the energy of that eighth house. So it's important to keep all of these things in mind, okay? Birth charts can be so super complex. But, like I said, some ways to utilize that Scorpio-Pluto energy is to, first of all, know where your Pluto and your Scorpio placements are placed, so that it is easier for you to navigate your energy that you came into this earth with, and then move accordingly, all right? Once again, fire, you're able to burn through the veil, so you are able to see clearly what's going on without the bullshit, taking off the rose-colored glasses quite easily, and you're also able to call it out. Air signs are easily able to navigate situations, be a chameleon. You know what's going on, but you're able to act like you don't, and that is able to get you to the end goal, right? That can sometimes work against you because Pluto or eighth house and air signs can sometimes be the types of people that will dismiss toxic, problematic things that they see for the sake of their own goals. So Pluto, it's interesting when it comes to Pluto. It's like pay it forward kind of thing. Once again, Pluto and Earth signs have the ability to just be very dedicated. Like, Pluto and Earth signs tend to be the types of people where, like, they've experienced such trauma in terms of maybe not having money growing up or having such crappy situations in love that they learn the tricks of the trade. They learn what to do, what not to do. They learn where to focus their energy. They are very, very good at being practical, conserving their energy. Sorry, I just got a message from a client on my Instagram. So Earth signs, Plutos tend to be very good at focusing their energy and funneling their energy, which can sometimes work against them because it's more, once again, when it comes to Pluto and Scorpio energy, it's important to be pliable, to be open. I also find that one falling out when it comes to Earth signs is that they can be so practical with how they focus their energy that sometimes they don't utilize their other assets or their other skills. They just focus on one skill or one asset. It's like we could have an Earth sign, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Pluto, or an eighth house, that are really intelligent, super smart, but like they're also kind of sexy when they put on some lipstick or when they wear a suit, but they don't always put on lipstick. They don't always put effort into how they look. So that can sometimes be a downfall of having that energy. Having a downfall of being in a fire sign kind of energy is that sometimes you can assume things. Like fire sign, because you have the ability to burn through the veil, you take what you see for what it is, but sometimes fire signs fail to go inward to see what they feel. Fire signs can be very reactionary. So sometimes it's important to think before you react, actually, or tap in this case, before you react for fire signs. Because sometimes with a Pluto or eighth house and fire signs can be very temperamental sometimes, too. So it's like sometimes when it comes to Pluto energy as well, Pluto is like more watery. It's more intangible. It's energy. Sometimes energy can be a very delicate thing, and fire signs can sometimes be very blunt and may burn bridges. You burn through things, so sometimes you can literally burn through a friendship, burn through a relationship, or burn a bridge. You always land on your feet like a cat, but sometimes it's like, dang, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. I should have waited, that kind of thing. Lastly, having a Pluto in water. Sometimes you can just be a little bit too emotional. Sometimes you can hold on to grudges too much. And as a Pluto or 8th house in water, sometimes it's like you definitely need to learn to protect your energy, all right? Like, that can be a downfall of a Pluto in water. Um, Also, sticking up for yourself with a Pluto in water, setting those boundaries, both in the spiritual realm and the physical realm, are very, very important for you, I feel like, as well. Water signs are very sensitive, even Scorpios, okay? Very sensitive. Um, and they actually can get hurt easier than they give themselves credit for. All right, so with a Pluto in water, I would say, or an 8th house in water, I would say, it's important to protect your energy, but also trust your energy, trust the energy, trust your intuition. All right, because not doing that, not trusting your intuition, can lead you into some crappy situations. Like I said. So these are the basics of how to utilize that Pluto/Scorpio energy in your natal chart to get what you want. I hope I was able to give you some clarity and insight. Of course, if you want a more in-depth reading, definitely reach out to me for a personal reading. I would recommend a personal birth chart reading, although I do have a special. It's called the $55 special, the 2020 special, where you get a 20-minute psychic tarot reading and a 20-minute birth chart reading. Otherwise, if you just want to go full in, I would recommend just getting a full 1-hour birth chart reading from me on my website. My website, LamarrTownsendTarot.com. The link will be in the description box or the comment section. Subscribe if you're new. All right. Make sure you also hit the bell next to the subscribe button and hit all notifications when you hit the bell. Check out my second channel on Vimeo. And lastly, follow me on my Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, where I would love to have you at Lamarr Townsend Tarot. If you have any more questions, definitely put them in the comment section below. What are some ways that you think it would be really beneficial to utilize Pluto and Scorpio energy to get what we want? Let me know in the comment section below. Sound off in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Thank you for listening and watching. Until the next video, love and light.